We're doing a fresh start here. Late night, episode 5, Hammer Talk. Welcome in. Welcome to the boys. No, unfortunately, no high score this week. P-ball's too cool for us. He goes to bed at a reasonable time.
Yeah.
So
Goes to bed, yeah.
yeah. Right.
Bastard.
So we got P-ball, who's kind of taken over the league. He just took down what looked like an undefeated team or unbeatable team by a solid margin.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about your chances in your division?
That's a question for me or Jordan?
That's for you.
That was for Hunter.
Oh, he's not in my division.
No,
P-ball?
how are you feeling about your division?
Oh, sorry, my bad. Anyways, long night. I'm feeling really interested. Like, our division is so tightly packed, and I mean, through at least last week, I scored more points than Jake did. So I'm not too concerned about like the short term, but just like injuries always scare me, and we're getting to that point in the season where people are going to start probably losing some players, and I just don't know how well my team will survive that if it hits me. So I'm hoping we can keep it close through the Cougar division.
That brings up a good point. And let's just talk about the biggest loss this season, Javonte Williams. That's got to hurt, right? Like, that's just stings.
Thank God it was P-ball, right, though?
Thank God. Thank God.
Honestly, that's skill-based.
We needed something to loosen that team up a little bit.
It happens to everybody. But thankfully it was P-ball this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, he's been on a tear. I mean, he called me as the Monday Night Football game was ending this week and said, "Hey, man, when's Hammer Talk?" Because I'm on that shit. You know?
Oh, man.
I mean, we would be having a lot different conversation if P-ball was here. There'd be a lot more shit talk, for lack of a better phrase.
Oh, dude.
Reminding of how much better he is than you,
Bro.
the classic things.
People will offer you probably 5 trades in a day, and then whenever you don't take any of them, he'll proceed to just berate your team and tell you how every single person is bad.
He's like, I'm literally giving you like the top like player at this position, yada yada yada. Tyler Conklin.
And to be fair, he's giving you good players, right? Like, he's giving good players most of the time. Problem is the price is just too high.
Oh, 100%. That's what I text him. Oh, he says he's here. Let's get him in.
Oh, we get him in?
But yeah, no, he'll always text me. He says, "Do you need an RB?" And I say, "For what price?"
Welcome,
this man.
Hello, everyone.
You're on the hot seat right now, man.
This man should be on the FBI most wanted for illegal trades for how much he tried to deal me at Alexander Madison.
Hey, you know what? I hope Dalvin stays healthy all year because, Madison's fun. Madison's fun if that happens. If that doesn't happen.
I'll go to Minnesota and give that man my ACL.
He's gonna need more than that. He's gonna need a shoulder.
I'll give him everything I have.
Jesus Lord. I'm not dropping him either. I'm literally gonna make you sweat it out.
I'm gonna wait for him. I know you're gonna want another roster spot eventually.
I don't need it. Have you seen my team? I drop 180 points to the dude that tore an ACL. I don't need it.
Ooh, confidence.
Well, hey, TJ Hawkinson is not going to score 40 every week. That's
what? Hey, tell you what. If he scores 15, and the Eagles defense scores 15, I still put up 155 points. It's okay.
Hey, I'm gonna give you your flowers this week, people. Truly,
Breece Hall does
you earned it. You finally drafted a good team.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm 1 for 2.
There you go, 50%.
I would be $1 billion player in the MLB. Where is Jesse Everett?
He's right
low. How's it going, boys?
Are we doing Hammer Talk?
This
we're
is
doing
Hammer
Hammer
Talk.
This is Hammer Talk.
Oh, we're
This is
we're
just
live
the
right
initial
now?
banter.
Yeah, we're
No,
live.
this is happening. We are deep in the episode right now.
Really? All right.
Unfortunately, my apartment is getting new countertops tomorrow, and that means that I have to reorganize my recently moved into apartment. And Taylor did a lot that I should have been doing, honestly.
So what?
So
I can't see your face.
not for the next like 5 minutes, and I don't know that I feel like we're going to be finished by then. So we've only got one question off. So I need like 5 seconds. Dr.
Okay.
Jordan, you're sitting there 1 week ago. You're looking at your team. You're thinking, what a bunch of bums. You go out and you make a big ass trade. Talk me through it. What's going through your mind here?
Well, which trade are we talking about? Because I made one that kind of kicked the whole thing off. And you were on the receiving end of that trade.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon, you came to my squad about 2:30 on a Sunday. Gave me the extra 12 I needed to put down the beef bus this year.
That was good. I mean, props where props is due.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious that you didn't actually need to trade for him because my team lifts so fucking hard. But I'm glad you got the win. You needed it. Because now you went out and you traded for 4 new players with Devontae Adams, mind you. But you gave up Najee. Who was the other guy we gave up? We traded
Kyle
into
Pitts.
Tyler Conklin. Yeah, Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts.
Najee, and he traded into Tyler Conklin. I just want to know what the thought process is here. I mean, there's obviously you can never tell who's right or wrong when it first happens. But at first instincts, it's a lot of faith in Devontae.
So, yeah, I mean, Devontae Adams is Devontae Adams. I mean, I don't think that we need to really go into depth about how he can help out the squad.
Well said.
Now, I drafted Najee. I spent the most amount of money on Najee this year.
Pardon me 1 sec. I got to take a piss real quick. I have got to pee. So.
Take your piss.
Yeah. Go ahead and do your thing. Anyway.
All right. Thank God.
So, Najee's been giving me anywhere from 13 to 18 week to week. Like, that's great and all, but, if I'm only getting 13 points from him, I got 2 guys on my bench that can do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so we ended up trading away Najee, Pitts, I think it was Melvin Gordon.
Right.
And
That's a big trade now that Javon is out.
Yeah, and so that happened before the injury. And then I think who else did I give away? Curtis.
That was it.
Curtis Samuel.
Oh, Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, so we're in the trade talks, and he offered me Devontae. Or actually, he didn't offer me Devontae. I think he offered me somebody else. But I said I wanted Devontae if I was going to trade Najee and Pitts. He said, well, he'd need.
Response.
Yeah, he said he'd need Curtis Samuel as well. And so I was like, okay, well, I mean, Curtis Samuel for Devontae is not bad. Then he kicked me back Conklin, Montgomery, and A.J. Dillon. So I think that that's pretty fair. It's pretty even. I sold him more potential. Like, I feel like the guys that I gave up are more athletes. They're better athletes, and they're a little bit younger. So there's some inexperience there, but I think that the injury concerns are very low with those guys. So hopefully once David Montgomery and Keenan Allen get back and I have a fully healthy squad, then we can see a little bit of what my work has put in. But as of right now, we're 2-2. I got a lot of hate on the team actually, but here we are.
Wait, can y'all hear Jordan right now?
Yeah, we can hear the whole thing.
Yeah, we can hear it. Can you hear him?
No, he cut out for me. My bad.
So third party, I looked at it. I think that you got a lot better. I think Jake made kind of a lateral trade. I think
Jake's betting on the upside of Pitts and Najee, whereas he's giving more instant production to Jordan right now.
I mean, Pitts is only involved in, I think it's like mid-50s of the Falcons' offensive plays, which, I mean, that's cool. and that's
Yeah.
great. It's just like I don't look at Pitts right now. Like a year ago, I would say, "Oh my God, like rock star, home run." I just don't look at him. It's kind of like I look at Kittle right now. Kittle is 2 bad weeks away from being the second tight end on a lot of teams.
Yeah, and I mean, if anybody's in that position where you spend a lot of money on these guys and you're getting less production than a guy like Tyler Conklin, it's like, man, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
No, that's a great point because that was something that's always on my radar going into the season. Is I always love to look and see who takes a premium tight end because usually those teams don't end up hitting because you spend so much on a non-premium position, right?
Mhm.
But then you look around the league and you got Prue with Mark Andrews, who's a fucking dynamite contender,
Or he puts
and then
up,
you got Trav. What's up?
or he puts up 3. Like it's
Yeah,
kinda,
but then you also look at Nicky, who's got Kelsey, who are the top 2, right? Undisputed top tight ends, and he's top of his fucking division. So it's like, well, shit, there goes the whole trade idea of catch them when they're low,
Yeah.
So it's just been different. And Higbee's just a beast. I mean, Higbee has the most targets in the fucking league.
Yeah.
I mean, in a redraft, I think it would just go like wide receivers, like top 10, I feel like, because it's just the year of the wide receiver. Like every other running back, tight end, quarterback, you're just hoping for a good game out of them, I feel like now. Besides, I mean, even Taylor, like Jonathan Taylor's been a bum respectfully this year.
yeah.
And now out for Thursday.
I mean, let's be honest. Jonathan Taylor was only RB1 because he had 2 big-ass games, and then everyone else got hurt, right? I mean, you had Najee, who had insane volume, and then you're looking across the league, you're like, all right, who the fuck else is good? I mean, Zeke looked like a bum, and it was RB6 last year.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he was a bum, like, honestly, right? So
I'm
you're
a
like, I don't know that Jonathan Taylor ever was that dude.
I'm a firm believer if you're spending $60+ on a guy, he should be a 20-point guy every week if he's in your wide receiver running back core. And
Todd Gurley 2017 or 2018, whatever that year was.
Hey, I won last year and I spent $40 on Antonio Gibson. So
exactly.
Goddamn right.
Hey,
right.
Look at the people right now that have Nick Chubb. I mean, Nick Chubb's your number 1 back. Anytime you're saying Nick Chubb is the number 1 back in fantasy football, running backs are not doing hot that year.
Yeah.
Especially when Jacoby Brissett is the quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's being fed like a motherfucker, I think is what Hunter's trying to say. Like, they need him to be the guy. And luckily for them, he is, right? That's not the case for every back.
Running back 10 automatically.
What do you mean?
What I mean, when Deshaun Watson comes back, I mean, you don't give a guy like that a contract with all that flack and then throw him out there and hand the ball off 26 times a game. Deshaun Watson comes back, automatically his carries go down to like 17, 18 a game, and they're slinging the ball a lot more. And Deshaun's not throwing check downs.
I don't know.
So
man.
let me ask you. Is that assuming that Kareem Hunt is still on the team?
Ooh, so that's a big thing. Kareem Hunt on the team.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb's value goes much lower.
Okay.
Kareem Hunt goes to the Dolphins, which there's been talk about that. There's been talk about a few other places. Now, I would almost say, you know what? I love having Kareem Hunt on my bench. I have a running back 1 and a high running back 2, and I'm ready to go.
Oh, yeah. And you're just waiting for the team that has a catastrophic injury. I'm surprised the Broncos didn't pick him up, right?
Yeah, I was kind of curious about that myself.
So, I mean, it's all interesting there. There's a lot going on. It's a lot of gambles, a lot of unsureness. But let's turn it back to the league, right? We've talked a little bit about football, talked a little bit about strategy, talked a little bit about this and that. Let's turn it back to going forward. B-Ball, you're the guy right now, right? Top seed, feeling good, wearing the shades at night. We get it. All right, it's fair. Hunter, how are we going to take him down? Jordan, how many weeks till you're competitive? B-Ball, how long do you think, if ever, there will be a drop-off? And that's what I want you guys thinking about. Take it when you're ready.
Wait, it cut out my question.
What?
I didn't hear my question that you were asking.
Oh, how are you going to take him down? What's your strategy here? Are you making moves? Are you going to hold? What do you think about your roster?
Okay. For this week specifically here?
Well, just I guess the next couple of weeks. It's a pretty season defining stretch of weeks here. We've had 4 good weeks of data, a month into the season. You know what your guys are. You know what to expect. Maybe there's a few wild cards out there, but for the most part, you know what to expect.
Absolutely. Who wants to go first here?
I'll take it.
Oh, you got it, Jordan? You got it?
Yeah, I'll take it away. So we're talking about my team being competitive.
You are competitive.
That's what I'm saying, man. But people don't want to give it. People don't want to give it.
Nah. You only beat a bum team. The only team you beat was a bunch of bums. All right, don't listen to them.
He's in the pack.
P-Ball, you talk so much shit to Jordan's team.
Oh, 100% he does. But,
And he's competitive.
At the end of the day, man, Prule's team is the number 3 seed. And he's 2-2. Jake is in the same boat. Hunter's team is 1-3. Dean is 0-4. Siraj is 2-2. That's Jed. Jed's 2-2. And then Jacob's 1-3, man. Like, that's a bunch of teams that are like on my level or underneath me, and I still keep getting the hate for some reason. But that's fine. That's fine. They can hate all they want, bro, because this is gonna be the year where we turn up in the second half.
Tell you what, I will go out to them right now. I will take a 6-pack bet with anyone, the other 8 outside of this call. 6-pack bet. Jordan makes the playoffs on a wild card.
There we go.
On a wild card. Huh?
We got.
I'm itching to take that bet.
Listen. All right, we got Brady coming back. He's finally playing like the GOAT again. He's got some weapons back. We got Devontae Adams.
I feel like after Brady gets his divorce, he's going to play a lot better.
Yeah, because he's going to fucking models doing cocaine and playing it.
Oh, 100%. We got Thielen, who I picked up off the waiver wire for our Uke this week. Feeling good about that. Damian Pierce, rookie of the year in the making. Rashad Penny had a big game last week, and then we got Conklin, just a solid target, wider like tight end type. And then we got Keenan Allen and David Montgomery in the questionables, coming off of injury. I feel like once those 2 guys get back, then my lineup looks a lot more solid, a lot more stout. And then we start putting up those consistent 140s. And Tampa Bay's defense, they're good for 40 on a good week. So, Young Hoku, number 1 kicker, good for 20. I feel like we're competitive. People don't want to give it to me yet, but it is what it is.
6-pack bet. Jordan's doing it.
Like that. All right, I've got a follow-up question. A little bit different topic, not as positive, but I think equally as entertaining.
All right.
Let's say, hypothetically, we get 4, 5 more weeks in the season. Dean doesn't win more than 1 game. He's 1-8 or 0-9. Is he history's worst fantasy player?
I think he already is.
I think Dean has been hit with a horrible stroke of unluckiness. Both him and Jacob both.
Can we talk about a real travesty here? Kara Jones is going to inherit half of a shitty fantasy team by this week.
I mean, she might as well start managing it.
Yeah, realistically, I'm more scared of Kara as a GM.
I think
Dean doesn't win more than 2 games. He has to get an annulment.
An annulment?
Yes.
No, I don't think we'd take it that far. He can win more than 2 games. His team is good. It's just it needs some help,
I've tried. Man does not. He's sticking to his guns.
I mean, he's been down again. He's had some tough matchups here. He's gonna have another one this week. Again, I'm not feeling too bad after losing to Jesse. Putting up like 160 or whatever he put up. I put up 153. Yeah. So anyone else besides P-Ball, I smoked last week. So I'm not too worried.
Okay, realistic.
Yeah, I mean, let's just hold on. Let's talk about this. Because Dean, let's be honest, got real unlucky playing Ian on his 180 week. Right? He dropped 150 something, probably 56, I think. Gets screwed over playing the top scorer of the year, mind you, the year so far, and including this week. And then you start looking at his team, and you're like, damn, it's the year of the wide receiver. Homie's got Lamar Jackson. He's got Stephon Diggs. He's got Jamar Chase and some serviceable other people. Higley, who's pretty much tight end one for, inexpensive tight ends. How is he not making it click? What's he missing here?
Who is this?
Dean.
Dean.
Oh.
We're still on.
No, I mean, as far as the matchup, he's projected to win by a lot. Granted, projections don't mean shit.
Not true.
But he's got Alvin Kamara's running back one. Miles Sanders has been playing really well lately. So I mean, no, he's got a good team. Like when I look at him, it's not bad. It's just he's Dean, man. He's got some sort of weird family curse on him or something where he just can't put up big points.
So two things. One's a statement, one's a question. Statement one. What happened, or statement one is this. Dean comes back, hypothetical future, has like a 45-point week with Kamara, and then you find out he's suspended for the rest of the season. That would be awesome.
Well, I've pretty much already missed on my labeling of Kamara as the steal of the draft.
Yeah.
Homie went for a low 40s, if that. And now we're staring at him with probably being outscored by basically everyone that isn't named Brian Robinson.
So here's the question.
Fuck Brian Robinson.
How many points is Dean projected this week? Hunter, you know, off the top of your head?
It's 142.
142.
Yeah, I'm projected 119, which is some bullshit.
Okay, so realistically, you're like 23 points less, right?
Yeah.
How many points do you have to be projected less than Dean before you're like, wow, I might lose?
I think if I was like, again, I think majority of my players are playing early afternoon. It's only my defense. Well, actually, no, the defense and kicker are going at 7:30 a.m. So, yeah, I'll be done by the afternoon slate. And he's got some Monday night players and some Sunday night players. So it'll be I'm hoping Cincy puts on a good performance on defense here and bottles up Lamar Jackson.
T-Ball and Hunter, I think you guys bring up a really good point that people forget. And I think it's kind of underrated in fantasy, but I think about it, so I want to get some opinions. What time slot do you prefer your players to play in? And do you think it affects how well they perform?
I do not like Monday night football games for my players.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Especially for Vikings players. Any Kirk Cousins primetime game, I have 2 Vikings players. Fuck that shit.
So I like the 12 and I like the 3:15, 3:25 slot.
All right. What about you, Jordan?
I agree. I don't like the Sunday nights, the Mondays, because then it's like if you're down, you just have the weight of, eclipsing that point total on the other side.
Yeah.
More times than not, I feel like you never get there,
I agree. I hate leaving a player to be played on Monday night.
Yeah.
I want to be done before Monday. I don't mind Thursday as much. I generally try not to go for the running backs on Thursday. I feel like they always underperform for whatever reason. Granted, Joe Mixon saved me last week.
Now, that being said, a Thursday night kickoff with a strong performance absolutely demoralizes the other team.
Agreed.
Puts up 35 points on a Thursday. It's like, bring it. I don't care what you got. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing hurts more than seeing your wide receiver one put up a 5-point game on Thursday night.
Oh, man. It's terrible.
And then going into Sunday, just like, I need the
Just
biggest
lost.
performance of my life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is that what Prue does every week? Every week he looks and he's like, God, DK Metcalf put up another 5-piece, but God damn it, I've got Mark Andrews.
Hey, DK's been good, to be fair. I think him and Lockett were a little underrated because low-key Geno Smith has been fantastic. So
Honestly,
I
yeah.
don't know that you can necessarily blame him for riding the DK train.
Is there any
Good transition here.
Is there
I
any
just
team
want to shout out.
watching? Is there any team that you just either players are on that team that you always end up playing, or is there like a team like you have your own players and it's like, fuck, I don't know about this one, boys. Like, is there any team you're watching?
Like hate watching or hate starting players from?
Either. Like, is there a team where you're just like, I hope to Jesus I don't have to play that team this week? Like,
okay.
Pretty
Okay,
much
so
anybody going against the Eagles defense right now.
it is fun.
I'm struggling here because I have that issue where it's like Hollywood Brown has been fantastic for me.
Same.
Like wide receiver 6 on the year, right?
I hate watching the fucking Cardinals.
The Cardinals look like shit and the Broncos look like shit, but goddamn it, I have their wide receiver 1. So it's like every week I'm sitting there like, dude, just hyper target, please. He's the only guy that looks like he knows what he's doing here. And it's just you're waiting.
Let me explain the first half of the Cardinals game. Your quarterback has put up 4 points, and you're like, there's no way. And then, like, in the fourth quarter, he magically gets like 22 more, and you're just like, you know what? This isn't so bad. You know,
Like the Starbuck Cowboys just, put themselves in a hole and make it a fantastic comeback.
Just dig it. Yeah, just be digging.
I'll chime in on the terrible players that I hate to watch, but are doing pretty well for me now. I have a great outlook on both of them for the rest of the season. Brandon Cooks finally had his first good game, 18 points. I will take it. The Texans are probably not going to win more than 2 to 3 games this year. I'd be shocked if they won.
I thought they'd sneak one. I really did. I thought they'd sneak one by now.
Yeah, I think they'll eventually get one under their belt by like week 6 or something, but it's going to be a rough season. But they're starting to feed Brandon Cooks the ball more. And Chris Olave, I had faith in him. Michael Thomas is not reliable health-wise. Jarvis Landry was never a reliable wide receiver, not since like 2019. And now they're starting to feed him targets. So if they can really get going, I think they can kind of salvage the RB, situation that I've kind of put myself in here.
Houston Texans, the only team in football to be down by 21, and they're still just running the football.
Because that's their best fucking
with
player,
Rex Burkhead sometimes.
Pierce is crazy. He is like a man out of hell.
Being somebody who has bought into the Pierce hype in several of the leagues that I'm in this year, I am electric getting to watch this guy run the football.
Jordan knows I tried like hell to trade for him the day before week 1. I didn't want you to see him play. I was like, I need you to like sell him before you see him play.
Watching highlight reels before we even drafted, man. There's no way. I was sold. I was sold on giving him at least 4 weeks of time. I imagine that either Aaron Jones or Najee would work out, and I'd have to rely and fall back on him, which is exactly what happened. But, I feel like we're still in a good spot.
It's been a good pivot. I think that's a good transition into this week's matchups.
Right? Hey, can I bring up a segment? Just let's shout out a team, anyone like not on the call who has made a good rookie decision here. Like who hit on a rookie?
Well, I mean, I
think drafting a rookie is one of the riskiest things.
I think Olave was fantastic.
I do think Olave was a good pick. I will hype myself up for that. Don't need me. I think Drake London was a great pick by Nikki.
Yeah.
I honestly slept on Drake London, so
did
great
he pick
pick
him
by
up?
Nikki.
I thought he traded for him.
Yeah, he traded me for him. I was watching the Falcons play one Sunday, and then I was like, man, this team is just not looking where it needs to be. They're not giving the ball to Pitts. And I was like, if they can't get it to their number 1 guy, I need to get out of this offense.
Yeah, so don't draft New England receivers because their pass game sucks. That's why I don't draft Falcons.
And so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna trade these guys away. I kind of already knew that. I didn't really want to give up on Najee just yet, but it's what it costs to get a number one guy like Devontae Adams. But I think P-Ball actually might be hitting on a rookie now.
Yeah, Brees Hall, I was about to say. Honestly, I talked a lot of shit, but
he has arrived.
I think
the Jets aren't that bad.
They're not. They'll be better. They'll be better.
I was I'm not going to trade Brees Hall for cheap. I'm going to give it the 4-week eye test. And at 4 weeks, I'm going to look at him and decide what to do. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? Let's ride the train, man. Let's
yeah, no, you're there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean this is what you spin up for, right? Yeah. It's just that he locks in this workload. I'm gonna pivot. Not a rookie deal. Not a rookie deal. I'm not gonna follow your rules, Hunter. You know you don't own this fucking podcast, so I'll make my own rules here. I'm gonna shout out a draft pick that has been immeasurably successful, who is cheaper than half of the rookies. That's Christian Kirk. That dude has been an absolute beast for like $1. Ridiculous.
Him. Can we talk about? So we talked about draft deals last week. Is James Robinson in trouble? Is that
no?
I don't think
I would trade for James Robinson right now if I could.
It was a rain game. The man got 6 points when you're not throwing it. Like,
yeah, but he's also playing the Eagles, right? Is that who he was playing? Right?
Yeah.
Or who? Yeah. Was that the other one? I mean,
I'm saying you were up by 14 at the half in a rain game, and the running back didn't put up any good numbers. Like that's kind of bad.
Well, I think that you should turn some of that critical eye next week to Rashad Penny. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that dude looks like a bum this week because number one rule in fantasy, you can't play the Detroit Lions every week.
Nope.
So we'll see. I'm scared about him. I think he looked really good, but I don't know if I'd want to get too excited about his hype yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not buying the Rashad Penny hype just yet, but he is going to be in the starting lineup just because our other options are AJ Dillon or somebody out. So
AJ touchdowns from like 5-yard red zone carry. Feel bad about your decision?
I mean, I don't feel bad about it. I still think that AJ Dillon is the next guy up. I still think that he's a better player than Aaron Jones just because of the age factor. But, we'll see. It's one injury away from being a 20-point guy.
Valid. Welcome to Alexander Madison.
Yep.
Nice. Good sales pitch.
All right, if you think Alexander Madison is the better back, that's cap.
Away from
I'm coming in here. I'm not giving P-Ball fucking marketing space here. You got to pay for it. I'm going to transition real quick before we go into next week's outlooks and championship picks. P-Ball, I've already heard yours, so don't say it. Let me give a shout out. Hunter, our game was great. Looking back, it was the closest game of both teams scoring over 150. And I'll be honest with you, that Rams game would not fucking end, and I was stressing because they got like 3 possessions under 5 minutes left. I couldn't sit down. P-Ball and I were on the phone. He heard me freaking out about it. But just shout out, fantastic game. Had a great time. Thanks for letting me win. Looking forward to this week. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Say something if you'd like to.
Well, I was just going to touch on what we said earlier. That's what sucks about Monday night players, man. Like, it's such a stressful 3 hours for you, especially whenever it's a multiple drives in the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter and you still don't get it done. Bro, just kill me.
Yeah, well, it's also my first player went on Thursday, your last player went on Monday. So not only are you stressing from Thursday, you're stressing on Sunday, and then I'm stressing on Sunday, and I'm sure you were stressing too, because it's you never know what Stafford's going to go out there and do. And, he throws 1 touchdown, and that's a different game. But anyways, great game. Kept me on the edge of my seat. That's why we play fantasy, right? So looking forward to this week. I'm scared of Prue. I need to escape. I don't think it's the better team that I'm starting right now, but I hope the boys show up for me. How about you guys? What's your personal matchup looking like? How are you feeling?
Y'all go ahead.
Who's Jake Huggins?
A bum.
Yeah, yeah. Is he in our league?
Dude is the lowest scoring top seed I've seen in like 3 years.
In the history of sports.
The commish is rigging the lineups, man. That's all
For
I'm saying.
real. For
Oh,
real.
dude. If I lose to Jake Huggins, I think I have to score 85 points or less in order to lose to him.
T-Ball, if you lose to Jake Huggins, give us something right now that you're going to do.
I'm going to sell Amon-Ra St. Brown.
All right. For what?
To me.
I'm buying.
Oh, no. Hey, listen, y'all send me offers. I'll look at them.
I already sent mine. You didn't like it, but it's okay. How about you, Hunter? What are we thinking?
Well, I mean, again, we talked about Dean earlier, and on paper, like, it looks like I'm going to get blown out this week. But I have some good matchups. I have some bad matchups.
It's Dean.
And yeah, and he's got some primetime games here. So, you know, if Jamar Chase goes off, you know, like, I'm just going to take my L and move on to 1-4. And me and Dean are going to duke it out for last place and Cougar Division. You know, I don't want to go champ to last, but, you know, I'll make a drastic trade. If someone, you know, needs to go off my team, then they need to go. I don't care who it is. And again, I scored 150 last week, so I'm not like incapable of putting up points, but on paper, I'm kind of scared.
Yeah, it's tough not winning when Jefferson finally does come back after the big trade. That's what I was scared about. I saw him come into the matchup, didn't like it. But this is a completely different option where you have Jordan's perspective, where he just got the big receiver, right? He's excited to get him in the lineup. How are you feeling about this week?
Well, I'm playing Jacob, who just experienced his first dub last week, so
he's high right now on it.
He's high right now. You know, he's got some momentum with C-Mac, but if there's anything I'm worried about, it's Khalil Herbert coming through for him this week. Like, I feel like the real matchup that's going to decide how this thing goes for me is going to be Khalil Herbert versus Penny's production. And I feel like that's going to be a offset. Because I got the GOAT. He's got Burrow, who's not bad. Got T. Higgins and Lockett. I got Adams and Thielen. So I might win a little bit there, but it's really the running back core that I'm worried about. And I got Tampa Bay's defense, and I got Young Hoku. So might have the...
I'll make you feel better. You ever watch the Chicago Bears? They're not exactly...
It's the volume that I'm worried about. It's the volume.
So I think you're bringing up a lot of good points here, but I'm going to highlight the two other matchups specifically because they're so closely seeded. You're looking at top seed Rose Division, second seed was it Anderson Division? Is that yours, P-Ball?
Yes.
Yeah, second very competitive seed who's in playoffs right now. Ian, who looked hot. He looked unbeatable. But now he's facing down Nikki. They're both coming off of a down week. They were the 3-0 club. Now they're 3-1. Who's going to bounce back this week? What are we thinking here?
I'm thinking that we see a bounce back from Ian this week simply because of the fact that the Alligator House is going to be down Jonathan Taylor, and he might be down Michael Thomas as well.
Good point. I have learned not bet against Tyreek Hill. He's already fucked me over 2 years in a row. I'm not going to do it again. I like Nicky this week and a sneaky steal from Ian. Ian's going to slide, and he's going to sell a couple of those big names that he's hit on, or maybe even little names that he's hit on. I think we're going to see a little bit of a rework in the next week from Ian, but maybe he proves me wrong. What do you think, Hunter? Give us a little insight on the matchup.
Well, let me go take a look at their players here.
Actually, if you're pulling up matchups, pull up the other matchup. I want to get your opinion on the Siraj and Redskins matchup here. That's the other one. That's a 5-6. That's a playoff spot. Keep yourself in the position to keep winning. 2-2 teams that got it, that need an interdivisional win. Who's going to pull it out?
Interdivisional win, like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, my prediction here. I really think that Ian's going to pull out a win here. Honestly, I think Pittman could have a big week. I think Christian Kirk is definitely going to be a candidate to have a really big week against Houston. I think he's just got the matchups this week, and then between the 5-6 here, that's I'm really rooting for Siraj here. I feel like he's been kind of down on his luck. He he had a decent fantasy season last year, but I'm kind of rooting for Siraj to make playoffs here. So I'm gonna pick Siraj.
I like that. People, are you gonna give us some words of wisdom as we close out here?
Words of wisdom or just the sign off?
Well, give me a little. Jordan's gonna get the sign off this week, but what I want you to do is I want you to give me a little bit of insight in the Siraj Redskins game.
Siraj Redskins game. All right, let me get to it real quick. Okay, quarterbacks. I think that they both have decent weeks. Jalen Hurts is just absolutely a fireball of points, so that's good. Gabriel Davis could have a sneaky week against Pittsburgh. The Buffalo might put up 100. Call me crazy. I'm going Redskins.
Ooh, with the Mike Boone start.
See, I would be inclined to disagree and agree with Hunter. Just because who's Boone, man? Who is Boone?
You mean the dude who dropped 2 game-winning passes back to back?
Who's Boone, dude? Who is that guy?
So I get the whole Mike Boone thing, but then I look at it and I'm just like, Mike Willie is the most inconsistent thing in the history of fantasy football.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of M. Willie, Jesse tried to trade me.
Yeah, Jesse tried to trade me.
Bro, I've been shopping that dude to anyone who will answer a text. All right, that dude need to get off my roster. I don't like the inconsistency. When Keenan's out for 3 weeks, and the best you can get me is a no touchdown, 7 reception game where you get over 100 yards. Fuck off, bro. Your team dropped 35. Get in the end zone,
Especially if I have Keenan Allen on my bench. It was just disrespectful that you even asked for it. I was like, get out.
I don't want to talk about it.
This man,
dude, fucking Gerald Everett was part of the reason you won, man. Like Mike Willie should have had those targets.
That's what I'm saying. Gerald Everett has solidified himself as the Jared Cook role, where he gets 5 to 6 receptions a game. He's just a faster motherfucker. That's the difference. He's not 36. He's 28 or whatever it is. So he can break out a couple runs.
Call me crazy. I think that it comes down to a defensive game. If San Francisco torches Carolina, then Siraj wins. If Green Bay does to the Giants what I think they'll do to the Giants, then the Redskins win.
I think there's no that San Francisco torches Carolina and Baker Mayfield. No question.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm actually I was saying earlier I think the Giants actually have a chance to win that game against. I think the Packers have played nobody that's good yet. So
that's fair.
Bold take.
Wow.
Bold take.
Hey, there's a reason I traded Rodgers. I watched.
They played the Bears. They played the Bears. They couldn't blow out the third string at New England. They played. Who else did they play? Detroit or the Vikings.
We're calling Minnesota and Tampa Bay pushovers.
They lost to the Vikings.
We're calling Tampa Bay and Minnesota pushovers. I just want that on the record.
That's crazy. That's crazy that you would do that.
Well, I mean, whenever you say Tampa Bay, you have to remember they had no Julio Jones, they had no Chris Godwin, they had Russell Gage,
and some quarterbacks depressed.
Yeah, quarterback's depressed. He's having a tough time. You got Mike Evans, granted, but that's you can double team him. Get him take him out of the game. Then you got Lenny. Keep Lenny in check. You already got a crazy defense. Rodgers had to score 17 points to win that game. And that's what he did. Okay. That's nothing. That's a point of possession, dude.
Hey man, but I think that Brady went home, after the second game of the season, and he put his head down, put the towel over it,
kissed his son on the mouth.
Called his divorce lawyers.
And then he came back out just like he did against the Falcons, and he's gonna do that for the rest of the year. He's here, man. He's here.
All right, I'm gonna end this episode real quick before I pass it to Jordan to sign us off. Jordan, I see you want Chris Godwin. I see it.
I would like Chris Godwin, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Adam Thielen's not enough. I just want to let you know.
I was hoping you had that figure the screen or something.
Yeah, people said he doesn't discuss trades that aren't made, so at least I respect that.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I'm just letting you know. When Devontae Adams drops a goose egg this week, I'm coming for him. And I'm coming hot. And you're about to get that Chris Godwin, Devontae Adams swap in your inbox.
I don't know if that's going to happen, but, we'll see. Maybe if Devontae Adams has a 3-week injury, I might consider it, but,
Hey.
3-week injury, you just need to quit the league. At that point, it's over.
Yeah, I've been attacked with injuries this year. It doesn't feel good.
Hey, Siraj, also, if you're watching this, I'm going to need a better offer for Jay Jettas. Also, don't send them to me at, midnight, bro. I'm sleeping,
Siraj sends me wild
shit.
shit.
You don't get that, early morning text. It was, 2 in the morning I got from him, I think, to get this Derek Carr trade. And he sent it to me. He goes, "Hey, bro, I sent you a trade." It's 2:15. I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Bro, Siraj is smart. He attacks you whenever you have sleep deprivation.
You're mentally weak.
He's trying to get
I'll be honest. I think I lost the trade on paper today. But you look 2 weeks down the road, it's a gamble on Pickett, a gamble on Deontay. Derek Carr's already outscored Rodgers. I'll stand by it. Might not be the best decision, but we're going to see what works out.
Did you again?
It was Rodgers and Mike Williams for Derek Carr and Deontay Johnson.
It was the most okay trade you've ever seen.
Exactly. And what I'm about to do,
I'm a big proponent of Deontay Johnson, and I feel like they just got to upgrade at QB. So
agreed. And wait till I have Devontae Adams stacked with Carr. Give me 1 week. I'm gonna be stealing that man off Jordan's roster.
I hope to God that you don't start Deontay Johnson against Buffalo. That is just a death wish.
Nope. I'm actually going back and forth between Hollywood and Chris Godwin. Because Hollywood's got the production, but Godwin's got the matchup. I just hope
Jesse,
he's good.
Jesse, say it with me. You know what to do. Hollywood!
Yeah, I'm starting Olave now that Thomas is out. And I think the Texans are going to get their shit washed by Jacksonville. So no more cooks for me this week.
All right, Jordan, you got it. This has been a long episode, good episode, late night boys episode, a little bit of mountain time. Switch it up on you. He'll be dropping early in the morning. So, Jordan, if you want to leave us with a good morning note, maybe a good night kiss, something like that.
All right, boys. This is good morning. This is Captain J on Hammer Talk. See you next time.
Yes, sir.
All right. Catch y'all later.
Peace.